guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. By the thumbnail you can see that today we are going to be talking about weight loss, and I don't want to waste your time with long stories, so we'll just get straight into it. So for me, I've always had a strange relationship with food, from binging to restricting, and then also an issue with portions. Because I'm a very active person, I've always been into like a sport. So as when I was in middle school and high school, I played volleyball, football, and basketball. I was in all three varsity teams in my school. Granted, it was a very small school. And in uni I did play volleyball, and then I just switched to just going to the gym. So I've never had this time where I was not really active, except for when I was pregnant for my son, because the nausea just made me unable to basically do anything. My battery died, so I had to switch it out. Anyway, as a result, I never really had to learn that much about portion control. At my highest weight, that's excluding pregnancy, I was around 185 pounds, and a lot of people just told me that I carried my weight relatively well, so I didn't look as as big as I felt. I did kind of feel uncomfortable at that size, and then I was able to lose weight, but that was just done by drastically increasing my activity, and I always felt tired when I did that. 185 was a really low point where I had just I wasn't really focusing that much on working out, and I was doing the bare minimum at the gym, and I was also eating more than I thought that I was eating. I was able to lose weight eventually, and I got down to the 70s and 60s, and then my weight has been fluctuating, and I was only one time I was able to reach like in the 150s, and then after that my weight was like fluctuating from the 160s to the 170s, which for some people it's like a good weight, but for me I just did not feel as comfortable as I thought that I could, as I felt that I could feel. I realized that for a lot of the diets that I was trying, first of all, I was not able to stick to them because they just felt too restricting for me, and because I was restricting myself so much, I would then end up binging. And I love food, I love making food, I love watching people make food, I love tasting foods from different countries, different cultures, and things like that. So having to restrict myself and not allow myself to eat certain things was just really hard for me. So recently I started watching a couple of YouTubers, and these YouTubers were basically talking about the CICO method, calories in, calories out. I think it's so crazy to do, to think that you had to watch other people talk about it, because obviously for a lot of us we just think that calories in, calories out is common sense, and that's how I felt, because I felt that even when I was doing all of these other restricting diets, I was counting my calories appropriately. Turns out I was not. And it was very interesting for me to see that. In April I decided that I will go 100% into the CICO method, which is what has led to my weight loss and also weight maintenance, because weight maintenance was always an issue that I had. While I was able to lose weight, I was never really able to maintain the weight that I was losing, because I had no idea what certain portions look like. So when I decided in April to lose weight, the first thing I did was download my FitnessPal, and the second thing I did was purchase a scale from Amazon, and this scale changed my life. So for the first week, I'm just going to open the app here so that you guys can see as I go through. Bear with me for a second here. The first week I decided to not change anything about my diets, not to change anything about my portion, just not change anything. In my mind, I had been eating about 1,300, 1,400 calories for the past couple of months. So I was losing weight in the beginning because the gyms were open, So that was basically from February to March. I was able to lose weight because gyms were open. So even though I was thinking I wasn't losing as much as I wanted, but because I was thinking I'm eating this certain amount of calories, no calculations, this was just me basing it off of what I thought certain foods, the calories of certain food was. And so I was able to lose weight because I was extremely active in the gym. Soon as the gyms closed, I wasn't as active anymore. So I was still taking walks and things like that, but I was not as physically active as I used to be. So the weight started piling up again, and I was just like, when I realized that, okay, this is not working, I decided to actually start counting calories properly. So the first thing I would say with regards to counting calories is that you have to be 100% honest with yourself. The first day, that was April 18th, I tracked how much I ate that day, and I ate 1,884 calories. And mind you, I thought that this was the day that I had eaten less than my goal. My breakfast was fine. Lunch was fine because I felt like even I was not even being as honest as I could have been on this day, because I felt like because I knew that I was measuring it, I was being even more conscious of the amounts that I was consuming. But then you get to dinner, and I ate 892 calories in one sitting, eating a warm chicken salad, some crackers, and some tuna pasta. I also had desserts, and yeah. You can see that. So this was supposed to be one of my good days. I basically tracked my diet for about a week that way, and I was eating between 1,800 and 2,500 calories in the sedentary life because I wasn't really doing that much activity. I was actually very shocked with regards to the amount of calories because I was weighing my food. I had a more honest view of what I was eating looked like. So that really put everything into perspective. Now, after that, I started actually hitting my calorie goal, and I was able to lose weight. I would say that for a lot of people, measuring a lot of things like measuring your calorie intake is very tedious. So I would recommend that if you do want to use the Seco method and you don't really want to spend so much time measuring your food, ingredient prepping is a good way to get that out of your system. Okay, as mentioned, I usually do that for starches, pasta, rice, potatoes, plantain, and then I also do that for meats. I enjoy my snacks. I try to work my snacks into my diet to just make sure that I'm still within the calorie restriction. I am one of those people that I don't mind the taste of like stevia and artificial sweeteners. So if it means that I'll be able to have a caramel-y taste and cut some of the calories, I will do that. That's just a personal thing of mine. As mentioned, I love food, but sometimes I also substitute because I've done so many of these different diets. Those different diets have actually been useful to me because they've allowed me to explore some ingredients that I previously would not have. So for example, when I was doing keto, I got introduced to spaghetti squash, and while I do eat pasta, sometimes I switch it out for spaghetti squash or zucchini pasta. And I know some people will be like, cauliflower rice is not real rice, or cauliflower is not good for you, but I like the taste of cauliflower rice. And what I also noticed is that for me, I like eating a lot. So like I like quantities, and because obviously some of these calorie dense foods are very small, it's not as satisfying for me. So I would rather eat 300 grams of watermelon and some whipped cream than a slice of cake that will have the same calories. That doesn't mean that I don't eat cake, but it just means that it's easier for me to eat those things and feel satisfied than have the smaller calorie dense foods. That being said, if I feel like eating cake, I will work that into my diet. Like yesterday, I felt like having a donut and I worked that into my diet. So you don't have to use MyFitnessPal, but just any calorie tracking app if you're interested in the Seco method. So what I really like about this app is that it does have a section for recipes, and you guys can see this is basically like all the things that I have made by just the calorie counting and portion controlling. So for example, if I did feel like eating tamales, I have a recipe here for tamales that gives you 277 calories per tamal. I have Cameroonian fish rolls. If I feel like eating Cameroonian fish rolls, I can bake Cameroonian fish rolls. They really taste just as good baked, and it's just like 100 calories. I have my bolognese sauce. I have my apple cupcakes, my Mexican cornbread, arepa, vegan cake, pizza buns and donuts, apple crumble, just a lot of risotto is like my favorite. Just basically a lot of foods that food stuff that I enjoy eating, that I just made the recipes and tracked all the calories for the ingredients and divided it into portions, and you are just able to store that on this app. I really liked the idea of calorie tracking because it just allowed me to be honest with myself, and then it also helped me relearn portion control and relearn portions. So now I have a good idea of what serving of tuna looks like. I have a good idea of what a serving of chicken looks like. I have a good idea of what a serving of rice looks like. And while I'm not going to be calorie counting for the rest of my life, I have been doing it for about 100 days, and now I just do it out of habit, and it's really been helpful for me. It works. If you're eating less, you will lose weight. The next thing that I did was with regard to my activity. Gyms are currently closed, so I have been doing a lot of at-home workouts. So my favorites are HasFit, Mr. London, and what is the other one? Fitness Blender. So I really like to do those workouts. I usually do about one workout per day, and then in the late afternoon, early evening, I go for a walk with my son, and we usually walk around for like an hour and then we come back. So I have been able to lose weight, but I've not yet reached my goal. But what I am also doing in this process is that I am losing weight, maintaining the weight for about a week or 2 weeks, and then losing a bit more, and then maintaining, and then losing, and then maintaining, just so that I know that this is working. This is something I can control, and this is something that will work in the long term. So what I do is that I meet my goal, usually a bit less than my goal, for like 2-3 weeks, and then I eat above my goal, about 200-300 calories above, and just try to maintain that weight. I have a regular scale for weighing myself. While I don't weigh myself as that often, I weigh myself about once every 2 weeks, and it helps. Because I have MyFitnessPal and Clue, which is a period tracker, I've been able to notice some patterns with regards to my eating habits before, during, after my periods. And what I've noticed is that before my periods, I tend to eat a lot more carbs. So you guys can see, while I'm not really strict into meeting my macros, but you guys can see that I'm eating a lot more carbs, and all of a sudden I'm eating a lot more fat. And this is just cool things that I've been learning about my own body, and I just think that it's very useful. So with the calorie app, the period tracking app, physical activity, I've been able to see some patterns with my body. I've been able to know my body better, which has allowed me to meet my weight loss goals, meet my physique goals, because with the physical activity, I realized that I actually, right now, my goal is to get abs. I'm sitting down, but I'm close. But I also like the way I look. I like the way I currently look, and I also like the way I currently feel, because I just don't feel bloated anymore. I don't feel bloated, I don't feel heavy. Most of the time I just feel light. It just feels nice and light. My clothes feel better. Actually, I've gone down when I started this, I was a size 8 at UK size, not UK size 8, god. US size 8, and then now I'm a size 6. So I've gone down a size, and I think, like, I don't know if I want to be a size 4. I like myself in a size 6, but we'll see how what happens with regards to getting those abs and what I look like. The lowest I've been is 156. That was the lowest weight I reached. I did gain a little weight because, like I said, my relationship with food, I did have a couple of binges, which were unfortunate, but those binges were a lot less than the binges that I used to do before, because what did I do? I tracked my binge, and it was horrible. The amount of calories, I think I had like 2,000 calories in one sitting. So it was between 8 and 9 p.m. But I was able to track it, and it just made me see how ridiculous some of the things that I was doing was. But yeah, so I like my physique right now, even though I do feel like I can get a little bit more toned, and I am trying to get those abs. So I don't know what my weight loss goal is anymore, but I don't know when I will reach my goal, but everything is currently working, and I'm very happy so far. I think what I'm most excited about is my relationship with food, because honestly, I struggled for a very long time, and I will do a video in detail about body image issues, relationship with food, and things like that. Anyway, that was pretty much everything I had for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too long. I'm currently still recording it here, and I'm seeing that we are at 28 minutes. I'm probably going to shorten it a lot more than that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.